Hello fellow gamers, and welcome to another dev chat summary video with the UnkemptGamer. Decided to create a second video because the first one was so well received, and I wanted to thank everybody that liked, shared, commented on the previous video, so of course I had to do a second one. And if this is your first time you've ever seen one of these dev chat videos by me, I'd recommend watching this one first. If you like it, at the end of this video I will post a clickable link at the very end screen that will allow you to watch the very first one, and of course another video, whatever YouTube recommends. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. We're gonna have spoon talk, torches, monkeys, and the SOA 3 map as well. But yeah, like I said, let's get into it. The first interaction I wanted to share with you was with Yatsik, of course, and someone named Diamond Jozu, who is a member of, they have the guide role in the Discord channel, and they're also a really cool person. They've really given me some insights into stuff, and they asked some wonderful questions during this dev chat, and they also gave me permission to use their name, so all of those things are awesome. But yeah, they asked, hello CJ, for your future plans, do you only plan to focus on just greenhell, or do you have plans to make possibly a greenhell 2 or other similar survival games? To which Yatsik replied, personally, I'm really looking forward to the continuation of greenhell. However, we don't have plans for that yet. And here it comes. The other team currently works on some other project, which is not greenhell 2. And before you ask, he didn't really go into much detail after that. Now that being said, did give a little more information in regards to the lore itself of greenhell with future plans of the game. Someone had asked if they're going to have more lore to the story. They said the ending is more open-ended. They wanted to have some clarity because the game scarred them. And Yatsik said that they were glad to hear that, since that was the purpose of the game ending. Right now, they don't plan on releasing any lore/story related to content to greenhell. That does remind me, now is probably a good time for me to mention that anything that Yatsik or Tomek say, that's going to be the state of, Creepy Jar / greenhell right now. If you notice, they're not making any promises, anything, written in stone, for example. That's just what their thoughts are right now. They can change their mind at a later date, so don't treat all of this as gospel. Mainly treat it as, someone communicating information to us that they have right then and now, not necessarily a promise, I should say, that is, the ink's dried on the contract and everything like that. It's not that at all. It's just the development team reaching out to the community to let them know what the state of affairs are with the game as it stands right now. Not necessarily anything that is written in stone. So things may change. This is just where we are right now. And like I had mentioned in the previous video, it's just fun to talk about these things. So just keep that in mind. We're going to see some more hints of that in some of the other future interactions that I am going to share. Now this next interaction, as many of you in my community know, I hold very near and dear to my heart. And that's the talk of adding monkeys into the game. I was pretty upfront and direct after somebody said, are we eventually going to see some monkeys in the jungle? I said, I've been asking for monkeys for like 3 years now. And Yatsik's reply was pretty, I'm pretty used to it. He says, monkeys, well, I was not surprised by that response in the slightest. He did provide some additional information, especially for those that didn't already know this, that anything that is climbing the trees like boa constrictors, monkeys take a lot of time to code and make it work properly. We know that it would be awesome to have, but to balance it, we add different stuff. The last part, I'm not quite sure of. I understand the first part where he's coming from, but the context of the second part, not 100% sure of. In my opinion, it's more than likely one of two things. They're adding other stuff to the game to keep the excitement level up, to add something different to the game, to make us either play the game differently or think about the game differently, he's saying that they would have to add different stuff in order to accommodate adding, monkeys or tree climbing snakes, or things of that nature. In either situation, it still goes back to the fact, doesn't look like they're going to be adding monkeys. I'm sorry to everyone out there. Hey, I'm in the same boat as you. I'd love to see, you know, bone and charcoal stealing monkeys just getting into just everyday hijinks in the jungle when we turn our back. Just don't see it happening. That's coming from me. That's everything that I've heard from Creepy Jar. Just seems like it's not going to come in. It's not going to be coming. Are my fingers and toes still going to be crossed? Absolutely. I'm just not going to hold my breath. But now is a good time for me to mention, if you've made it this far, it seems like you're interested in the video and hopefully enjoying yourself. And if you do, please throw me a like. Hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and check me out on Twitch where we play video games. I am live on Thursdays and Fridays, 6 p.m. Central Time. Definitely on Fridays, at least as of this date. We do multiplayer in greenhell, doing all sorts of wild stuff and trying to do everything we can to make something completely different just for an enjoyable experience for our viewers. Anyway, let's get back to it. Here we have, once again, a very playful Yatsik, just throwing this out there completely unsolicited and unannounced, saying, what's your opinion? Do you think you'd be happy about it looks now? I, for one, think it looks perfect. I meant what I said right there, and I still stand behind it. I think those shelves are going to look really cool. Don't know what they're going to be used for. We do have storage containers right now. I'm wondering what we would be able to store on these shelves. I'd be interested in hearing your comments on what you think. Is it just a utility thing where you can put anything from weapons to pottery to food on there? Or is there going to be something new in the game that you can utilize these shelves with? I just keep thinking, okay, what can't we put on a weapons rack? What can't we currently put in a holder or in a storage container? I don't know. I don't know what else we could be putting in there, but I would love to hear your feedback on that. And I definitely use this as an opportunity to direct the conversation into a different route. And for those of you in my community, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Time and time again, I've had folks in my community say, if you ever talk to any of them, you don't have to say if you do or not. Please, just mention something about torches. As you can see, I am a survivor of my word. I said, on that note of adding more stuff, oh wow, look at that segue. My community is begging for hanging torches, and that's exactly what I did. You will not believe what he said next. That's not clickbait, I promise. Here it is right now. Wouldn't that be funny if there's a commercial break right now? I don't know if there is or not, but anyway, it's not clickbait, I promise. As you can see, it's definitely something that I did not want to hear/read. Light sources are like monkeys. He doesn't want to talk about it. Typical Yatsik flair. And then he turns around and after I gasp and go, ugh, he turns around and says, but who knows? This is the playful person that we've been dealing with in dev chat, and it's just such a fun, whimsical experience, you know, that we had with him. There's just another example of it right there. Next, I wanted to direct you to another can of worms that I had opened. I asked one more question. It's always that last question, isn't it? Is there a map in Spirits of Amazonia Part 3 for the last area? And I meant in survival. We looked all over, and I cannot find a map for it. Yatsik asking for clarification. You mean the area behind the bridge? We gave him that clarification. Diamond Jozu confirmed, yes, in survival, the map doesn't exist. Of course, I concur with them. And Yatsik turns around and says, I'm pretty sure it does. Which I was not expecting to hear back. And you could see right there, I said, man, don't do that to us. We've been looking, you know, what I think is everywhere for it, and we just can't seem to find it. And that brings me to probably my favorite moment in the entire dev chat that I had. Yatsik replies, I don't want to confuse you more. I'll check it to be 100% sure. That is the mark of somebody that is thoughtful, cares about the community, and wants to make sure the communication goes out with 100% accuracy. And I 100% respect that over someone else who may have stuck to their guns and said, well, keep looking. I know it's out there. It's got to be out there. Yatsik even goes so far as to say, if the area is accessible in survival mode, he couldn't think of a reason not to give us a map. Huge props, huge respect for that response. That is, in my opinion, that is a perfect response. Then he turns around and says, I think I know what's going on. We'll get the map in the next update. So we can chalk that up as a victory, Greenhell community. It is fantastic. I'm excited. I hope it does make it into the game. I would love to think that us all getting together as a community and talking with the development team may have somehow gotten the ball rolling on getting us the map. They've shown in other situations where they've made up their mind in one situation, well, we've made a decision to not have this feature in this part of story mode or in this part of survival. Maybe this is something that made them change their mind, or maybe they realized, hey, we didn't think about adding the map. Let's go ahead and get the map added. As you can see at the bottom, he thanked us and everything, but this is not the end of this video, because there is one more item that I wanted to share with you that blew my mind, and I really need your help on it, and that has to do with the spoon. Someone made just a random reply to someone else asking about firearms in the game, and somebody replied, maybe it could be unusable, like the spoon, and Yatsik replied in a way that I was not expecting. I don't know if they were joking or if they were being serious. He says, what do you mean the spoon is unusable? You can see my reaction there of, excuse me, sir? Sir, excuse me. What does that mean? He did not elaborate further at all throughout all of the dev chat. This is where I need y'all's help. Have any of y'all found any information in regards to being able to use the spoon? Can anybody test anything? Has anybody tested in the game to find usefulness for the spoon? Does it help you cook faster? Does it? I don't know. It can't be used as a weapon. The only use I've found for it is taking up space in your backpack or in a storage container. I have no idea. But then we also have the other side of the coin. Maybe Yatsik is being playful. I have to lean in that direction. They're probably just being playful. It might have been a joke, but I want to reach out to all of you. I want to start a dialogue on that to see if anybody has found anything in any way possible to use the spoon. But that will wrap it up for us today. Once again, please don't forget to hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. I hope you had fun. I had fun attending this dev chat and editing it for you, all the little tiny little morsels and nuggets of information that they had to share with us, to have it in a little bite-sized, less than 15-minute video. They did mention that they're going to have more dev chats in the future, and you better believe I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I show up to them to deliver more information to y'all. And folks, with that out of the way, I would like to wish you happy building, safe building, and many blessings. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Take care.